أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين والحمد لله الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. We have been discussing the mystical and spiritual dimension of our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through dua. And we mentioned that there are various pedestals from where we can see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from where we can communicate with Him. Each individual has a personal relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it ought to be that way. However, in each one of these relationships with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a need for gradual growth at every single moment, in terms of being able to behold the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in terms of being able to understand the wisdom of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing, in terms of being able to accept and acknowledge my own lack, in terms of being able to acknowledge and accept His absolute completeness. It is important that at every stage of our communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a constant state of growth. If this growth does not exist within us, and it is only a ritual and formalistic way of supplicating, we shall remain where we are for as many years as we live on the planet or on the face of this earth. As long as there is this connection, as long as there is this relationship, as long as there is a feeling of reciprocity in this communication, you and I know that the life is there, the world is there, and there is progress in my own existence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works in mysterious ways. My supplications are absolutely nothing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I was to ask for a mulk, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His kun is able to provide the mulk. There is nothing Allah cannot do. إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونُ. All that is required from Allah is this kun, nothing more than kun. And even this kun is because of our problem in language. Otherwise, only the irada and the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the actualization of the fulfillment of whatever desire I may have. That confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the way we beg from Him, the way we ask from Him is truly a way of being able to establish myself as one who is faqir. And in this communication, it is to establish that I am in a state of dire need always, no matter where I am, no matter what I achieve, no matter how much I achieve, I will always be in the state of need. I will always be in the state of dire. Where I need to get is to a place where I am comfortable, where I am in the state of calm, when I am in the state of acceptance with what is happening around me, when I am in the state of total relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is so calm, where Allama Iqbal takes it to the stage and he says, Khudi ko kar baland itna कि हर तकदीर से पहले. Oh man, elevate yourself to a state that before your supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रिज़ा क्या. Elevate yourself to that position that Allah asks you, oh man, what do you want? Not you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what you want. But there is a journey to be able to achieve. You and I need to do that. So the confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being able to have this confidence in Him that He is the only provider, He is the only sustainer, He is the only maintainer, He is the only giver, He is the only one who will give me izzah, and He is the only one who can have any effect on me, is one of the most important principles of our growth towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and towards this communication. Look at Zakaria. In Quran, in Surah Maryam, we see Zakaria in his confidence with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes he gets surprised that how will Allah even respond to my prayer. Surah Maryam, Janabi Zakaria says, the verse starts with Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad, Dhikru Rahmati Rabbika Abdahu Zakaria إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا. When he called upon his Lord, a very silent prayer, he called out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إذ نادى ربه, in a very low voice, نداء خفيا. قال ربي إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك ربي شقيا. He says, my Lord, surely my bones are weakened, my hair have turned grey, and my Lord, I have never been unsuccessful in my calling out to you, in my prayers to you. وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرة فهب لي من لدنك وليا. Surely I fear my cousins after me, and my wife is barren. Now he has acknowledged that he is weak. He has acknowledged that not only he is weak, but that he has reached an age from where there is probably no possibility of him getting a child. Now he is confidently seeking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, grant me from yourself an heir, فَهَبْ لِي مِن لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا يَرِثُنِي وَيَرِثُ مِنْ آلِ يَعْقُوبَ وَاجْعَلْهُ رَبِّ رَضِيًّا. Who should inherit me and inherit the children of Yaqub and make him my Lord, one in whom you are well pleased. Now the dua of Zakaria has gone to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has made this, but in his dua what is concealed, or if we go deep to see, is that he is acknowledging that his hair has turned grey, that there is no possibility now of him to get a child. However, what is more important in this dua is that he is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in full confidence and in calmness that Allah has the ability of providing, because He is the Malik of Kun. He is the one who is the provider. So he says to him, he gets the response from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Zakaria, inna nubashiruka bi ghulamin ismuhu Yahya lam naj'al lahu min qablu samiyam. We are now giving you a glad tiding, O Zakaria, of a son whose name we will call Yahya. And then we will give you this child. We have never mentioned, we have never given this name to any other before Zakaria. He is now asking the question. Zakaria is asking the question. قال ربي أن يكون لي غلام وكانت امرأتي عاقرة. My Lord, is it going to be a son for me while my wife is barren, my Lord? Is this even possible, my Lord? Will you be able to do this, my Lord? وَقَدْ بَلَغْتُ مِنَ الْكِبَرِ عِتِيًّا. Not only my wife is barren, that I have reached an extreme degree of old age. Allah says, قَالَ كَذَلِكَ قال ربك هو علي هين وقد خلقتك من قبل وَقَدْ خَلَقْتُكَ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَلَمْ تَكُ شَيْئًا. He said, so shall it be. Your Lord says, it is me. It is easy for me. And indeed, I created you وَلَمْ تَكُ شَيْئًا, when you were absolutely nothing. It is I who created you. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Yasin tells us, وَضَرَبَ لَنَا مَثَلًا وَنَسِيَ خَلْقَهُ قَالَ مَنْ يُحْيِي الْعِظَامِ وَهِيَ رَمِيمٌ. They give us an example, Allah says. وَضَرَبَ لَنَا مَثَلًا وَنَسِيَ خَلْقَهُ. They forget the creation. They ask, قَالَ مَنْ يُحْيِي الْعِظَامَ وَهِيَ رَمِيمٌ. Who is going to bring these bones back to life when they have decayed completely? Allah says, قُلْ يُحْيِيهَا الَّذِي أَنْشَأَهَا أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. He who created them in the first place is capable of bringing them back to life again. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is able to do this. You know, Ibrahim alayhi salam was passing by a particular place and he saw an animal or a dead body, whether it was an animal or human being. It was a dead body that he saw. Part of this dead body was being eaten by the animals of the ocean or the sea, of the water. And part of this was being consumed by the animals of the dry land. So Ibrahim, passing by, questions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he says, my Lord, I can't understand. Rabbi arini kayfa tuhyi al-mawta. My Lord, can you show me really how you are going to bring back this body to life that has become an integral part of bodies of various other animals? Rabbi arini kayfa tuhyi al-mawta. Allah says to Ibrahim, Ibrahim, you are my Khalil, aren't you? Awalam tu'min. Do you not believe? Do you not think I can do this? I am the Malik of Kun. I am the one, إذا أراد Allah, whatever He decides, أن يقول له كن فيكون. Ibrahim, أولم تؤمن? Do you not believe that I can do it? Ibrahim says, of course, my Lord. Of course I believe, but I want to satisfy my heart. Please show it to me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Ibrahim, fine, for me to be able to demonstrate to you this ability of kun within me to satisfy your heart, take فَخُذْ أَرْبَعَةً مِّنَ الطَّيْرِ. Take 4 different species of birds and then mince them, cut them into pieces, bring them, mix them all together. ثُمَّ اجْعَلْ عَلَى كُلِّ جَبَلٍ مِّنْهُنَّ جُزْءًا. And then place part of these mince meat that you have created in various parts of the mountains. ثُمَّ دُعُهُنْ. And then call upon them. يَأْتِينَكَ سَعْيًا. You shall see them coming back to you in an original form. It is I, my Lord, who need to understand that I am weak and you are the strong one. I am the makhluk and that you are the khaliq. Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. Also, we have a story of Janab Ibrahim in Quran and Majid in Surah Hud, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Ibrahim at that very old age is given glad tidings of a son or a child, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam's wife was standing there. When the glad tidings came, Quran says his wife was standing there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains this to us in Quran. He says, وَامْرَأَتُهُ قَائِمَةٌ فَضَحِكَتْ فَبَشَّرْنَاهَا بِإِسْحَاقَ وَمِنْ وَرَاءِ إِسْحَاقِ يَعْقُوبَ. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the wife of Ibrahim was standing there. She could not have conceived in her mind that she can ever conceive a child. Not only that she was old, but her husband Ibrahim was even older. So old. So now she speaks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, she's standing there. فَضَحِكَتْ. She laughed, Allah says. فَبَشَّرْنَاهَا. Because when she laughed, probably thinking that we cannot do something, Allah says, فَبَشَّرْنَاهَا بِإِسْحَاقَ وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِ إِسْحَاقِ يَعْقُوبَ. And after Ishaq, we will give him Yaqub. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when this happened, she said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya waylata a'alidu wa ana ajuz. Will I be able to give birth to a child when I'm an old woman? Wa hadha ba'li shaykha. And this old man of mine, Ibrahim, has become a very old man. Inna hadha la shay'un ajib. She says, indeed it will be a wonderful thing that will happen. Qalu. These angels said to her, "Ata'jabina min amrillah." Are you surprised from the amr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot do this? Observe. You know why namaz-e-ghufayla is a namaz that is highly recommended to pray between Maghrib and Isha? You know why it is highly recommended? Because it is giving you or putting us into this cycle of acknowledging our absolute state of need and acknowledging His absolute state of completeness. In this dua, we have the story of Nabi alayhi salam. The Noon is the Nabi of the fish, one who was swallowed by the fish, Nabi Yunus. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing us to a stage that after we recite this, the namaz contains verses of the Quran. In this verse, we have a story of Nabi Yunus. What does he say? Allah says in Quran, وَذَنُّونِ إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. This is after Noah has been swallowed by the fish. The story is a beautiful one. If you get a chance to read the story of how it all happened, how Yunus alayhi salam was swallowed by the fish, what kind of a fish it was, how come that the fish was able to swallow him, and all that is a beautiful story, inshallah ta'ala. I'm sure you will be able to get a chance to read it and reflect upon it. But here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining to us the lack of me, my need, all in the state of need. Whatever happened to Yunus alayhi salam, whatever happened to him, the fact that he left, وَلَن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. When the fish swallowed him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when the fish swallowed him, he was in 3 stages of darkness. One, that it was a night time. It was the night. 2, that he was in the depth of the ocean. 3, within the ocean, he was in the belly of the fish. Can you imagine how dark this was? So Allah says, from within that darkness, he acknowledges his lack. He acknowledges his need. He acknowledges that he is faqir. Fanada. What did he say? Allah ilaha illa ant. There is no God except you. Subhanak, glory be to you. It was I, inni kuntu min al-zalimin. The moment the realization and awakening comes, Allah says, fastajabna lahu wa najjaynahu min al-gham wa kadhalika nunjil mu'minin. Allah says, the moment he called out from the darkness with sincerity from within himself, and he called out to us, and he said, La ilaha illa ant, subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin, fastajabna lahu wa najjaynahu min al-gham. We responded to him. We delivered him from his gham. Wa kadhalika. Now this is for us. Wa kadhalika nunjil mu'minin. And that is how we deliver the believers. So when I say in my namaz-e-ghufayla, La ilaha illa ant, it needs to be felt from within, even if I am asking for money. Even if I am asking for money, whatever I am asking for, it needs to be from within. Because only the realization and the acceptance of this, I am not saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant it to you whatever you ask for. It is His prerogative. He knows how He will deliver whatever He will deliver. However, when he felt it from within himself, Yunus alayhi salam, from the stomach of the fish, and he called upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he actually felt it from within, and Allah delivers it. So Allah says, the last bit of this dua is, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِلْ mu'mineen. And this is how we deliver the mu'mineen. It is for you and I now to have that feeling, you know, when we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we are asking from Him. This relationship between I and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be that relationship of the strongest possible communication between myself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second rak'ah of the salah now is the acknowledgement. So the first rak'ah of the salah was the acknowledgement of my lack and my need. In the second rak'ah of the salah, we recite another verse of Quran. What is this verse? وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ. He is the one who has the keys of the unseen. وعنده مفاتيح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو. No one other than he knows. وعنده مفاتيح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو يعلم ما في البر والبحر. He knows what is in the land and he knows what is in the seas. ويعلم ما في البر والبحر. No, he even knows وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا. There is no leaf that falls from a tree, the knowledge of which is not with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ. There is not an atom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the face of this earth is not aware of. وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. And there is neither wet or dry, but it is in this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that now we have to acknowledge that whatever my need is, although I verbalize it, there is a need for verbalizing it. There is a reason for verbalizing it. Although Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He knows even the falling of the leaf. He knows even the atom that is on earth. He is aware of what is happening. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورِ. He is aware of that which is hidden in the heart. He does not need for me to verbalize my dua, does He? But the need for verbalization of this dua is the realization of my lack and the acceptance and acknowledgement of His greatness, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is great. So when I supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have the keys, my Lord, you are the one who is the master of masters, then I leave my dua with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma anta waliyu ni'mati wal qadiru ala talibati. My Lord, you are capable of giving me my need, my want. None other than you can do it. Ta'lamu hajati, and you are aware of my haja. فأسألك بحق محمد وآل محمد عليهم وعليهم السلام لما قضيتها لي. I have now left this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this confidence, like Ishaq, like Yaqub, like Ibrahim alayhi salam, like Zakaria. Despite losing hope in the whole system of the universe, there is hope in none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, as we move forward and we acknowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of something very important. He says in dua, in Quran, He says, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Your Lord said, call upon me and I will answer you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي. And those who are too proud of my service. This is a very, very important verse of the Quran which has been connected with the dua. And it is something, an extremely important thing for you and I to understand. Allah says, surely those who are too proud of my service, سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. These people shall enter hell abased, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Takabbur. How do I explain takabbur when it comes to you and I just mentioned the other day, we think we are something. When it comes to you and I, and your takabbur, whatever the takabbur may be, it is probably fine. But when this idea of takabbur comes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the dua, it makes you wonder what kind of takabbur would this be? How can there be takabbur? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, Al-Kibriya'u, not in Quran, in Hadith Qudsi he says, Al-Kibriya'u Ridai. The garment of takabbur is my garment. Nobody else has the ability to wear that particular garment. Al-Kibriya'u Ridai. Dua is a process of crushing the ego And I will come to this in a second. Dua is a process of crushing our ego. It is a process of ridding myself from myself. You know, there is a hadith where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in hadith al-Qudsi says, Ma wasa'ani ardi wala sama'i. My earth and my heavens, the one that I have created, cannot contain me. The heavens and the earth, whatever they may be, no matter how vast and humongous they may be. Ma wasa'ani ardi wala sama'i. My heavens and my earth cannot contain me. Wasa'ani qalbi al-abdul mu'min. What can contain me is the heart of the abd of mine who is a believer. Now, if you have understood this hadith, let us look at it a little deeper, what this hadith is. If I call myself I, me, aw, hu, ana, man, if I call myself I, it is a problem. The moment I say I, we have a huge issue, because I am now occupying the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please think with me for a moment. When I call myself I feel I am I think I do I, everything is I. And that heart, which is occupied by my I, cannot be occupied by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the moment I vacate that particular position of my I and crush my ego, it is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala resides. When that happens, dua has a different meaning altogether. When that happens, the exams and the tests change. When that happens, a human being now does not see his own existence. There is only one existence, and that is the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when I look at this verse, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ, your Lord says, call upon me and I shall respond to you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي. Those who are arrogant and those who are proud of my service shall enter hell. Why? Because this eye does not allow me to see beyond. This eye does not allow me, I feel that I am I. As I said to you the other day, Amir al-Mu'mineen so beautifully says, أَوَّلُهُ نُطْفَةٌ وَآخِرُهُ جِيفَةٌ. Beginning is nutfa, the akhir is jifa. The experience of our growth, of our soul, is only realized through our intimate relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I need to vacate this heart of I so that I am able to allow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to occupy it. And the moment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala occupies it, it becomes a different story altogether. Jibreel comes to Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he says to Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes to befriend a man on earth. Allah wants a Khalil on earth. The response of Ibrahim is very important. Ibrahim could have said, "Oh Jibreel, maybe it's me. Tell me it is me, please." He could have said that. "Oh Jibreel, tell me it is me that Allah wants to befriend me." But no, he doesn't say that to Jibreel. Ibrahim now stoops down and says to Jibreel, "Oh Jibreel, tell me or show me the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that I may become his abd and his slave." It is this humility of Ibrahim that qualified him to become the Khalil of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of his sincerity in acknowledging his lack. It is that which he became However, when Ibrahim does become the Khalil of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he now has to be at a pedestal. And that is bringing you back to my speech or yesterday, day before yesterday. He brings you back to that pedestal. How do I see God the way Zulaykha saw God? How do I see God the way Amirul Mu'mineen saw God? How do I see God the way Ibrahim sees God? There comes a time in the life of Ibrahim when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already granted him a son. After a very long time, Ibrahim has a son. He looks at his son, he falls in love with him. He falls in love with him. He is now deeply in love with him. As the son grows, the love increases. As the son grows, the attachment increases. There comes a point when Ismail becomes a distraction to Ibrahim with regard to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When that happens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ibrahim, slaughter your son Ismail. Now it is a different pedestal. Now it is completely different. And what does Ibrahim do? Ibrahim speaks to his son Ismail. He says, Inni ara fil manami anni adhbahuk fanzur madha tara. Both are prophets. I have seen in my dreams that I am slaughtering you. See what your opinion about this is. He says, Baba, if'al ma tu'mar. Do exactly what you have been told to do. Satajiduni insha'Allahu min as-sabirin. You will find me from amongst the patient ones. What Allah does afterwards is where the relationship is shown. That it is I who is the most powerful. It is you who is always in the state of need. And then there is another dimension through which I will not be able to finish this today, through which I wish to bring us to the level of the second dimension or another dimension of supplication. So once you reach a level where you become the Khalifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you become the hand of God. You become the eye of God. أطيعني أجعلك حتى أجعلك مثلي. Worship me until I make you like myself, Allah says in Hadith Qudsi. Until I make you like myself. What do you mean, my Lord? أقول لشيء كن فيكون. I say unto things be, and it becomes. تقول لشيء كن فيكون. You shall be able to say something to something kun, and it will become. How, my Lord? أطيعني. Worship me. Give yourself to me. Surrender yourself to me. حتى أكون بصره الذي يبصر به. Until I become the eyes of yours with which you see. Until I become the ears of yours with which you hear. Until I become the hands of yours with which you stretch your hands, with which you touch. Allow me. You surrender yourself to me and allow me to sit in your heart so that you see through my eyes. You hear through my ears. You become the hand of God. You become the eyes of God. And you know who that was, the full embodiment of it? Allahu Akbar. Why do we call Ali Yadullah? Why do we call him Ainullah? Because if there was somebody who could be the embodiment of this particular hadith of Qudsi, it was none other than Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ask the little children of Kufa what Ali meant to them, how the hand of God worked with them. Ask the widows of Kufa how the hand of God and the ears of God and the eyes of God in terms of being a Khalifa worked for them. But as a masa'ib, I will come to this towards the end. Imam begins to do his wasiyat on the night. For those who did not listen to me in Urdu, just listen to this in 2 lines of what I said yesterday. Imam begins his wasiyat. He calls upon Imam al-Hasan. He calls upon Imam al-Hussein and all his children. And he tells them, I am giving you the wasiyat of the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want you to look after your neighbors. Allah, Allah bil Quran. Make sure that Quran Majid is something that you carry to your hearts. Do not allow anyone to overtake you in relations to Quran Majid. Every time you must be the ones ahead in Quran. He gives this wasiyat. Then he calls upon Imam al-Hussein, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, and he calls Zainab and places the hand of Zainab on the hand of Imam al-Hassan, and the hand of Kulthum he gives to Imam al-Hassan, and the hands of the ladies to Imam al-Hassan, and the hand of Hussein to Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. And he says, Hassan, you are the Imam after me. You are the Imam after me. Oh Hassan, look after them. He gives them the secret of Imamah, and then Imam alayhi salam relaxes. Suddenly they say that there was a lady that began to weep, and that was Baneen. They asked, why do you weep? She says, I do not know what has happened, but my Abbas seems to have been forgotten. Imam alayhi salam says, call upon Abbas. He places the hand of Abbas in the hands of Hussein, and he says, Abbas, do not allow Hussein to go before you in the plains of Karbala. Be my representative in Karbala. I am saying, when you read the history, you realize that when Abul Fadl Abbas fell from his horse in Karbala, he called upon Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam by saying, Alayka minni salam. Imam, in a state of rage, left from his stance to go to Abbas. But they say that he found the arms of Abbas first, and then he saw the body of Abbas. Perhaps he lifted those arms. He probably looked towards Najaf and said, oh Baba, Baba, these are the arms that you had given to me on the day when you were departing this world. Azadaran Imam Hussein, if you want to see Ali ibn Abi Talib as the Khalifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask the little children of Kufa who bring milk so that Ali ibn Abi Talib could drink. Ask the widows of Kufa, ask the poor people of Kufa and Medina, ask those who have been touched by Imam Ali. The time comes when Amirul Mu'mineen passes away from this world. Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein prepare for the ghusl of Ali ibn Abi Talib. The ghusl is prepared. Imam does his wasiyah, do not lift my janaza from the front. Let my janaza go on its own from the front. You just lift it from the back. Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein lift the janaza from the back. It goes to a particular place where the grave of Ali ibn Abi Talib was ready. That place is known as Ghari, today known as Najaf. They arrive with the body of Imam Ali alayhi salam. They place the body, Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, place the body of Imam Ali inside the grave. Azadar and Imam Hussein, until such time, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein had not got time to give condolences to each other. For the first time, standing in the Lahad, Hassan looked at Hussein and Hussein looked at Hassan. They both kissed each other, they embraced each other. Hassan said, Baba has gone. Hussein said, Baba has gone. They came out of the grave, they covered the grave, they recited the dua, and they departed from there. Azadaro, as they were departing from there and arriving in the outskirts of Kufa, they heard a very sorrowful cry, a cry of someone who was weeping. They did not know who it was. Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein approached towards that place. They saw an old man, invalid, disabled individual, blind from his eyes, who could not see. Imam al-Hassan approaches him and says, oh man, what makes you weep? Oh man, what makes you cry? He says, what makes me weep is my Muhsin has not shown up for 3 days. I have not seen my Muhsin for 3 days. Who is your Muhsin? I don't know him. Do you have any signs of your Muhsin? I don't have any signs. Do you know what he used to do to you? Yes, I do. He used to sit next to me and give me morsels of food in my mouth. He used to sit next to me and he used to say, Miskinun jalisu miskina. A miskin is sitting next to a miskin. Imam Hassan alayhi salam says, oh man, weep. That was Ali ibn Abi Talib. That was Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali ibn Abi Talib is no more. The blind man started hitting his head. He said, take me to the grave of Ali. They took him to the grave of Ali. Azadar and Imam Hussein, when he touched the grave of Ali, he could not live any longer out of his love, and he had the way he missed Ali ibn Abi Talib, and he died there. Azadar and Imam Hussein, if the old man missed Imam Ali so much, can you think about Zainab and Kulthum? مات يا حسين.